Well, we've stopped and had some lunch back in that woods over there. Building just behind us is the old schoolhouse, and to our right hand side, just behind, or the other side of that hedge, is Woolbeding Lane. As you can see, this is what we're looking at. Fields upon fields upon fields. And we are on a designated footpath along the side of this field, which keeps us off the lane, off of Woolbeding Lane, because it is very narrow. And we are heading down here until we get to Woolbeding, which is just off of the A272, Midhurst to Rogate and Petersfield Road. From there we've got to cross over the 272 onto Midhurst Common and then back round into Midhurst. So it's been a lovely walk. We had to take the jackets off earlier on because it got so warm, and I said to Cynthia, I said, with the strength of the sun, if you stayed out in it long enough you'd end up with a suntan. The sun is now gone behind some clouds. It has become quite cloudy now, but a very high cloud. But it's been a super walk. We've really enjoyed it. We could have done a different route and stayed on the Serpent's Trail, but that is part of a plan that we've got anyway, to do the Serpent's Trail in its entirety. We had got from Hazelmere to Liss in 2019, and the plan was last year, 2020, to complete it, but of course COVID came along and stopped all that.
Can I correct you?
Go on then.
We did it in 2020, early on, before the lockdown.
Oh, was it?
We
Well,
were going to do the whole thing in 2020.
Ah,
We did part 1 in January and part 2 just before the lockdown in March.
right, okay, so that's my mistake. Cynthia as
Well,
usual.
Steve will correct you otherwise.
Well, yeah, Steve will correct me. But we'll be doing a Zoom chat with Steve tonight, as we do now every Wednesday and every Sunday, and we'll be able to report to him about this walk, which I'm sure he would love to come on. There's not many points of interest. It's just a beautiful country walk, and as I say, we've thoroughly enjoyed it. Sometimes it's nice just to walk in the countryside. If you've got some points of interest along the way, even better, but why not enjoy the countryside while we can? But we've enjoyed it, haven't we?
I've enjoyed it.
Yep. So we're going to carry on along this path around this field, but when we get down the bottom here we have got to find the next part of a footpath to keep us off of walking on Woolbeding Lane. Don't want to do that, as I say, 'cause it is very narrow, but we've got to actually go right the way round, I think, to that bottom corner, and then hopefully there will be a footpath sign to show us the way. Although we're heading back to Midhurst, and I've been on my walks through Woolbeding Park, which is across the other side there, I've often said about the Woolbeding Church, and it's called All Hallows of Woolbeding, and this is the entrance gateway leading along the path. And Cynthia and I were just saying that now we know we can get into the church via the road, we are going to come back here and film around the church. We're going to do some research on it, and we will come back to this church, because I wasn't sure originally whether you could only access the church from Woolbeding House. So at least we now know. Cynthia thought there was an entrance off this lane, but if you remember in my other videos I've been doing about a strange structure that is being built, let me just show you this. Oh, up onto a big bank, and it's all being laid out absolutely beautifully with lots and lots of old stone, and here it is. This is the structure. That is just amazing. This is all being landscaped, as you can see, and it's all laid out. We've got trees growing, got plants growing, lots and lots of beautiful stone, and all different types of stone have been laid out there. But I was hoping, and I don't know if I can, there is a little track or road down here, but it's probably locked up. But I did see some people in there just now, and I can hear I can actually hear gates being locked up and shut. So it might be the people that actually own it, but that's the structure that I've seen in before and wanted to get close to it, so it's the first time. So we're going to press on down that way. Well, we've crossed over the A272, which I mentioned earlier on, and we're now back on the Serpent's Trail, and we are heading up here through this bit of forest, fir plantation, heading up onto Midhurst Common. And then when we get up over the top of the viewing point, and if there's nobody on the seat at the top, I might have 5 minutes there. Although the way our legs feel at the moment, I think if we stop for too long we won't be able to start again.
I won't stop, I won't make it.
Yeah. So here we have, look, back on the Serpent's Trail. The head route which we were following earlier. And on the other side, oh, it's around that side, is the tail route. And it's the tail route that we've just come off of, because it goes the other way. And we're going up here now. It's quite a steep climb, and thankfully the last one. But the sun's coming out, and this is a killer going up here. Gosh. Well, we're on top of the viewing point at Caldry Common. Let me just show you the view, and you've seen this before in my videos, but there we are. Absolutely stunning. So I'm backing up. Ooh. We've got people away behind us in the trees, making a bit of a noise, but we've decided this is going to be where we're going to end our video for today. So this will be Kevin and Cynthia saying bye bye, and we'll see you on the next one. Bye bye, bye bye, bye. Well, we've just dropped down off of the viewing point. Although we did a finished piece just a second ago, I was chatting to Cynthia about the structure at Woolbeding House, and what I didn't realise is that when we were there, Cynthia actually knows a little bit about what it's going to be. So Cynthia, can you tell everybody what you know?
What I know?
What you know?
Well, not surprisingly, it's called the Glass House, and it is a visitor centre that is going to hopefully teach people about the plants that were brought to Europe via the Silk Road, or the Silk Route. And I'm guessing the lovely structures you saw outside, the walls and the planted areas, those will be the plants that have been brought to this country or into Europe from the Silk Road.
And did you say something about the structure of the building, because it's got cantilever?
Yeah, apparently it opens up like a flower, so each of those points will open out like a flower.
Oh right, okay.
Yeah.
Well,
that's kind of all I know. But
well, no, that's brilliant, because I didn't know anything about it. All I saw on my walks was this structure, this glass structure being built in the middle of the West Sussex countryside near Woolbeding House, and I had no idea what it was going to be.
I should say it's actually being funded by the National Trust.
Ah, right.
They actually own Woolbeding House.
Yeah.
Although it's lived in privately, they let the grounds out to visitors.
Yeah.
And so it will be funded by them, and hopefully educate us on how we got the plants in this country.
Yeah. And I think you also mentioned, did you not, just now, that the original Mr. Sainsbury, or one of the Sainsbury's family?
One of the Sainsbury's family leased the house and lives in it, but also paid for all the renovations, and I believe for most of the improvements to and renovations of the garden as well.
Oh right, wow.
It is well worth a visit.
Yeah,
You
absolutely.
can only go there by booking,
Yep.
even outside of COVID, because it is very small, and they like to collect you from Midhurst by minibus because there is no parking there.
Ah,
And
okay.
as we've just seen, the lane is very narrow.
Yep.
So yeah, you have to book, but it's well worth a visit.
So if they've got the visitor centre there, so would that mean that the car parking there would be used to access the Woolbeding house as well?
I've no idea. I'm not even sure if you'll be allowed to go to the glass house via your car.
Ah, right,
I really
okay.
don't know if they're going to change the rules once
Yeah.
that's up and running.
Yeah. Well, we'll have to wait and see when it's all.
Yeah, maybe
Finished.
that now they've built that and have a different way in.
Yeah.
You might be able to drive there when
Yeah.
we're eventually allowed to.
That'd be wonderful.
Yeah.
That's brilliant. I'm so pleased that we talked about that. So yeah, so we're going to carry on. So again, this will be Kevin and Cynthia saying bye bye,
Bye bye.
and we'll see you on another one. Bye bye.
Bye.
Bye. Hello, this is Kevin, and if you've enjoyed the video that you've watched today or tonight, whatever it might be, please follow, like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye bye. Bye.